What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven once again with some Once Upon a Galaxy, and today we're going to take a look at the Butcher, which is a treasure find card with the quest Have 5 rare characters on your board to receive the Butcher's Cleaver, which says epic and legendary characters no longer show up in your shop, but bronze characters get +20/+20, and silver and gold characters get +40/40. And part of the strength of this is going to be that the silver and gold characters will also have the previous bonuses, meaning gold characters could have as much as +100/100 if you pick them all up over the Cleaver. Now, I have never played with the Butcher yet. This is a card that I just unlocked on Double Dealer, and I have heard it is pretty good from a lot of discussions from top level Once Upon a Galaxy players. So I am going to give it a shot here myself, and we'll see what we can come up with it. I think that we will start with a gingerbread house, and then a gingerbread house, and then a dastardly spirit. I'm playing both dastardly spirit and friendly spirit, just so that way I have as many early tempo recruits as possible to pump up my early shops. I think that that makes a lot of sense to me. Now we will go with Slappy. Definitely continuing to just play the tempo here as we pick up another Dastardly Spirit, and then probably Puck. Sure, yeah, we'll pick up a Puck after that. 5/5 Puck is obviously nothing to scoff at. We will move into turn 3 with max health, and now we can pick up a Pan Shadow. That's pretty good, especially with +4/+4 from Dastardly Spirit as well. That is looking pretty good to me. We might toss Slappy here to throw in a Captain Ahab. No, you know what? I'll Twinkle Twinkle. I think that we are totally fine right now, and I'd rather throw some more stats on a future pickup. I think that that makes the most sense. We could throw all of those stats onto a Cowardly Lion. We could Big Teeth onto a Puck. One thing that's kind of cute is when you throw Cowardly Lion in the first slot with a gingerbread house. That is obviously a lot of power. On turn 4, is that really what I want to go for, though? Could also just pick up Katamari, which is getting +3/+1 off each attack thanks to Pan Shadow. You know what? I will go for that. And then I think I will double cast an Ember here, which is just a ridiculous amount of stats and should definitely give us the flexibility to do whatever the heck we want to try on turn 5. And of course, we are going to try to find the Butcher. Now, there's a few things that I'm not sure about, given that I've never played with the Butcher. And I'll let you in on a little something. This is my 3rd time trying to record this video, and the first 2 times, I just did not see the Butcher while playing this captain here. And so, yeah, there was no point in uploading those videos. But one thing that I'm not sure about with that, like with deck construction, do you want to play less rares so that way you are more likely to find the Butcher, or do you want to play more rares so that way when you find the Butcher, you can easily complete the quest? And similarly, I'm not sure if I want to just start turn 5 by immediately picking up rares, or if I want to pick up rares after I have found the Butcher. I think it makes sense to me to start to pick up rares after the Butcher has been found. So here I'm going to pick up the Golden Dastardly Spirit. We also grab breadcrumbs with that. That could be really helpful on our hunt for the Butcher. Do I want another treasure here? Or do I simply want to get lost in the woods? Let's get lost in the woods. This is a Butcher video. Like I said, I've already tried to record this video a few times and it has not worked. So we're going to try to make it happen as much as we can here. And then I think I'll go Wink, because why not? It seems fun. Maybe, oh wow, it actually does get to complete there. That is beautiful. And will set us up nicely going into turn 6, where again, we are looking for the butcher. I do have to say Mysterious Egg is kind of enticing here. If I wasn't making a video, I'd probably pick up a turn 6 Mysterious Egg, which would hatch into a secret rare, but we are looking for the butcher, baby. Okay, so now we're taking the butcher. This is my first rare pickup. Maybe I'll have to go back and watch, but if I had a rare option to pick up over Wink, that was probably the play, but instead we are just going to grab Wink. And why this is going to be weird is now on turn 7, there's going to be a bunch of epics in my shop as well that are going to make it a little bit more difficult to complete this quest, but I think we'll be able to slowly get there. Let's replace Wink to start off with, and then we can grab any of these from here. Sugar Plum Fairy is fine. This is a 12/12 potentially, if it is able to hunt, but I think that this is also really solid, and I don't feel bad about grabbing this one. We'll reorder the board like so that Katamari can get its attacks in, and it looks like I'm just super strong thanks to the Dastardly Spirit that I am going to be able to mess around and do whatever the heck it is that I want to do this game, which feels pretty good. It feels like I did good to get up to this point in the game. Let's go Fairy Godmother. That seems good. That's going to give my entire shop another +8/+4, which is obviously fantastic. And then unfortunately here, I do not find a rare character. Kind of a bummer. We could grab Miseria, though we're never expecting her to complete. It's potentially fine. Or a Pixie Powder and pump up the Sugar Plum Fairy and the Katamari. Not the Fairy Godmother's abilities, but both of these two are candy. So sure, I'll pump up the Butcher, because why not? Maybe that would have been best on the Katamari, but we are hoping to replace the Katamari next turn, and we are hoping that we do not take too much damage in the meantime. We're going to take a full heart, though, unfortunately. Now I think we have to grab Achilles and hope to complete the Cleaver right here. We are able to do so, and we can do so while picking up either a Will-o'-the-Wisp, yeah, to trigger this 2 more times. That seems like the right play. Two-Headed Wizard is also good for where we are eventually going, and that is the benefit of Butcher's Cleaver. We will now only find rare characters in our shop, in addition to the benefit of them getting +20/+20 and more as the game continues, and we're going to hope that we can use that bonus to some good effect this turn, but I think we will be able to do so. We're going to grab some Chef Coutiers here, and you can see these Chef Coutiers are already massive. It's partially due to the Cleaver, partially due to Sugar Plum Fairy. You know, we could grab Boon Willow. This is the most stats, isn't it? No, they're the same. They're really the same. So let's grab Boon Willow here, actually. Oh, and we can toss the Butcher. The Butcher is no longer doing anything for us, though, to be honest, neither is Achilles. Sure, let's toss Achilles, actually, and pump up our back slots, pump up our shop, and now we can take the Chef Coutiers, and we actually, no, I'm going to take Wink. I was going to say we kind of want the Chef Coutiers, but we also kind of just want more big cards on the board, and I think that this is another thing that I'll have to consider with the Butcher in the future as we are about to replace her. I'm going to put her on the screen one more time, but having some bronze characters already picked up will mean that, like, I will never get the +100 on Wink, but now I can grab it with a +40 thanks to the Cleaver and continue to pick up another card this turn, which I think is really, really good. So I think we want to take that opportunity whenever possible and probably grab this Pan's Shadow as well. I think we can toss the Fairy Godmother since we're slowly replacing our board for better things in our shop, and now we have a decision to make between the Sugar Plum Fairy and the Will-o'-the-Wisp. But yeah, we don't really need this to be our first recruit anymore. Let's just take Cherry Topples, grab a random candy spell. It's a Cinnamon Roll, and now we could grab a Fairy Godmother with a bunch of bonus stats. Sure, we also could have met something in the bakery, and I think we will just finish off with a Chaos and a Starburst. Okay, it looks like we've really, really stabilized here, and this looks pretty good to me, to be honest, for my first time playing with the Butcher. One thing that I will say is, if we manage to get into the end game one of the things, I didn't talk more about this at the start, partially because I've already recorded the start of this video 2 other times and I didn't utilize it, but I think one fun thing that I also found on the Once Upon a Galaxy Discord is grabbing a bunch of rare cards means that you are likely to find Fairy Ring eventually as you triple up on your rares. Ooh, Blind Mice or Puxatawny Phil or roll. Let's roll. I think that we have already found some really good stuff, and I do want to try to build towards some of those rare treasures because I think that those could set us up for some really, really fun stuff in the end game. We'll pump up Wink, I suppose, and then we take Sugar Plum Fairy, or we can grab one of those rare treasures that NoLucksGiven has been on about. This slot is not that big. Let's throw in a Tin Man back here and grab not a Fairy Ring, unfortunately. Energizer like barely pumps up the Cleaver, but it's fine because I'm not really looking to cast spells yet. So yeah, we'll go for Energizer for just a little bit more stat buffs, and then we will replace Tin Man with Puxatawny Phil. Potentially only one more fight, as we might wind up just losing this one here. Yeah, okay, well, that was not the best showing for Butcher's Cleaver. Of course, we did get a second place finish, and maybe on the next one, we'll get a little further than that. I'm not sure if I mentioned this for the previous game or not, but obviously I'm playing cards in this deck that I won't be able to find if I complete the Butcher's quest. And the reason for that is you're not always going to find the Butcher. And I don't know if I'll include like a compilation of times where I didn't find the Butcher. Fairy Queen, quite solid, +8/+8 from all of the previous fairy buffs. And now we find a double Pisces pickup. That is really good. Okay, so we're doing powerful things this game. Giving all of my treasures +10/+10 each turn will scale up nicely. We're going to pump up the Fairy Queen. Basically, we're going to double the Fairy Queen here. But let's just say there are a lot of games that I've been playing with Double Dealer that you're not going to see. Let's take Dastardly Spirit, I suppose, because the Butcher is a villain. If I owned on Double Dealer the card that makes your next shop all villains, I would certainly play it just to increase my odds at potentially finding the Butcher early on. We'll pick up a Puck here and then a Jealous Stepsisters. That treasure that quest could have completed if the Puck did not get attacked into there. Probably just take Peter Pan here over Miseria, and then we could go for a Gumdrop. We could just pick up Chaos, so that way when we find it, Silver, it's free. Sure, that seems fine, and that gives me a Presence of Gaia for the first slot. I'll throw that onto the Monkey. We are going to complete the Jealous Stepsisters. I do think that Double Dealer is pretty good after playing it a bunch in trying to find the Butcher, just because of those early, the spirits allowing you to pump up your shops pretty nicely. We'll take a Cursed Ring, so that way the Butcher is even bigger. And Jack in the Box goes pretty well with the Puck as well, so we'll throw that in, and now we will grab a Peter Pan to keep on pumping Puck. Again, a Chaos. I mean, I'm going to take it. It's a huge villain, and suppose we'll do this. Okay, and that gives me a Twinkle Twinkle, so now I can pick up an even bigger Puck. I could also go for a Mysterious Egg. A Mysterious Egg on turn 4 will hatch into a legendary card. So that's not necessarily synergistic with what we're trying to do. I do think that we can certainly get away with it here. And, yeah, sure. I'll grab it. Part of me just wants to only care about things that could possibly ever have to do with the Butcher, but there's a limited time window where Butcher things are relevant. Things that you do before turn 4 don't really matter. And now, of course, I'm going to try to find the Butcher, but what I did to get to this point in the game did not really impact that. Dastardly Spirit we can grab here to give villains in my shop +1/+5 now. I'm sorry, +2/+10. That is really crazy, so we're going to cycle through this, and then do we find the Butcher? No, we find Sugar Plum Fairy, though, and that feels like an always take on this captain. And I think I'll just cycle out the egg. I think we don't need to worry about that. So Wink does get to hunt now the Sugar Plum Fairy, giving +4/+12, which is pretty fantastic. And we find the Butcher. Okay, nice. And the Butcher is huge because it is a villain. So it's getting, it's 13/25. I think we might be able to complete the Butcher here. First, we're going to replace that, then we'll take Weensea, which will double trigger the Sugar Plum Fae, and we'll have to decide, are we tossing Jack in the box, or are we tossing, I think we're always tossing Jack in the box here. That pumps up my shop tremendously, and next turn will be turn 7, but hopefully we can pick up some rare characters to fill out this board. And hopefully the Butcher can make it so that we don't take too much damage. All right, we go down to 2 hearts. Now, can we fill out this board? I mean, Pisces is obviously great. If we take Pisces, we are never completing the Butcher this turn. But then we have access to Pisces. So I think I'm going to grab Pisces here. I think I'm going to toss Wink, because we have tried to do enough with that already. Oh, this also gives me the TNC Spellbook. That could actually allow me to complete the Butcher this turn had I found Lost in the Woods. We don't, though. We find Nameless One, which is still quite large. So we'll certainly be going for that. Puck is actually kind of, I mean, it's as good as the Epic support fairy right now. Realistically, we are incentivized to toss Pisces or Puck, though, here. I'm going to toss... I mean, this is a 23-25. I'm going to keep Puck. Let's toss Pisces. I could have also tossed Weensea, but this just guarantees we'll be able to complete the Butcher next turn, and then we don't have to worry about it. I can get this video out, and yeah, it might not be exactly how you would typically play this, and oh gosh, if I had the Pisces, I could have double True Love's Kissed It. Oh no. Oh well, we will go for the Butcher here now, and now with the Cleaver, we are going to no longer be able to find epic and legendary characters. We can still have access to True Love's Kiss, right? But bronze characters in the shop are going to get +20/+20 on top of all the Sugar Plum Fae buffs, and silver and gold characters get +40/+40. You've already seen it. This is the second time we are picking up the Cleaver in the video. No fairies here, so I suppose I will grab Puxatawny Phil. And I do want to keep Sugar Plum Fae. You know what? If we lose the fight, we get a Tin Man activation. So it's fine. It does look like we might be able to lose this fight here. Puxatawny Phil will not resummon. Unfortunately, theirs does. Oh, wow. Okay, so we lose a full heart here. That is going to activate the Tin Man. And now what can we manage to do? We can find the Mushroom Ring. This is exactly what I wanted to do. I do also really like the Co-Captain's Courser, but Mushroom Ring on Double Dealer with Butcher's Cleaver, I think we can manage something absolutely epic here. Speaking of epics, well, no, this speaks of legendaries. I think I want to grab silvers. I don't know, I just wanted to try to transition off of speaking of epics. Did not work out. I think I should take every silver that I find. I like Cherry Topples. I want to put Cherry Topples on this board as soon as possible. But I also want to fill out this board with silver cards as much as we possibly can. And now we can throw in a two-headed wizard. And I think what we do is this. This gives us a double cast of Lost in the Woods. Wow, we have done it. We have actually done it. I think we are at 1 heart, so this is super sketchy. But I think that we are going to be able to stabilize here. We can also meet in a bakery rather than pick up this Sugar Plum Fae. But that's a big upgrade to the board. I'm going to pick up the Sugar Plum Fae. And now we can grab Chaos as well, and we are really into the thick of it here. Let's grab Chaos. It's never going to be as big as some of my other cards because I already silvered it before any of this happened, but now I get to cast a double casted Abracadabra. We could go for a Candy Kiss and turn this into a legendary. If that's the game plan for this ultimately, then maybe it is good, but you know what else we could do here? We could find some more mages. I think finding some more mages is a pretty good option too. Okay, and do I want to Over the Rainbow double casted? That seems good, and then we will finish off with an ice cream party. We have a candy, we've got a mage. We are simply going to put this on. Well, I don't actually know if I want this to be too big, because if I make these too big, then they won't die. I want them to die, and I want my backline to be able to clean it up, so let's put it on just Sugar Plum Fairy then. Mostly we're sweetening our candy here. Now I can grab Pixie Dust. That's pretty beautiful. Let's grab that, and now I can grab a absolutely massive Weensy. This is not Weensy. This card is huge. It is also a mage. That is why I have so many other double casts. That's right. Okay. Because I picked up the Teensy Spellbook. This was my preview card, by the way. One of my 2 preview cards for Candylar. So I always have a little bit of a fondness for it from that. I'm curious if we can find something better. And if we sugar and spice twice, we will be doubling up those sugar bonuses onto whatever recruit. Same thing with this. We're putting not +4/+4, but +16/16 on whatever we ultimately wind up picking up here in our next shop. That could be a Chef Katir's, or it could just be a huge ranged card. I think let's get huge on the range. That makes sense to me. It could have also made sense to pick up some silver cards, but I think a huge ranged card is really tough to disappoint. And are we going to manage to lose our frontline cards? I do want to. Nice. Okay, we at least lose 1. So we get another free spell. That's going to be 3 free bags. And Wand of Shielding is probably where we want to go to next, especially considering we haven't pumped up our treasures here. And then I will take a Robin's Bow. Oh, and then we have another spell here. We're going to make the next character Candy. How can we utilize that? Well, this is not bad to give characters in my shop. That's actually, oh, it's about the same as this, isn't it? Well, it's also going to trigger this because it's also a Fae. I mean, this is definitely the pickup. Let's throw it in. And do I ever want to do this? I probably just want to take Fire Breathing Dragon. I am interested in these kisses. We could also kiss the, I mean, this is just so good. Yeah, we have to do this to start off with here. And is it time to replace the Sugar Plum Fae? Eventually we will have to replace Chaos, even though I really don't want to. I think now is the time to replace Sugar Plum Fae, though. Because, okay, and then we'll put Sugar Plum Fae right back in. Fair enough. Can we double our Captain power now? No, but we can take a Spellbook Punch card, which will give us a bonus shot because of Chaos. And can we manage to take on the Tribble Trouble with our Fire Breathing Dragon? I think we're going to be all right here. Nice. Okay, this does not take out the goatee, which is a little bit scary, but maybe they'll just randomly die while we're fighting up against ghosts and stuff. We'll triple Cinnamon Roll, which gives us a whole bunch of bonus shops, actually, and then we will pump up some slots randomly. How big are our shops right now? Quite large, and we get to take a Ship Shape Inspector, or a Two-Headed Wizard. My ship is not in top shape just yet. I am missing 1 piece of the deck, so to speak. Probably grab the Butcher. It's just significantly bigger than Thorn, and it would be really embarrassing to lose this game. So let's just make sure we've got some stats on the board as well now. And now I'll take a nameless one. This gives me a golden legendary, which is not a good one. I suppose Midas's Throne is interesting here. I'm actually going to do this. Yeah, that's the play. And the first shop each turn always has a legendary spell. That's pretty good with Two-Headed Wizard, because then we can start doubling and doubling. That is probably better than Midas's Throne, even though that puts my ship in top shape. I'm going to take Merlin's Tome. Oh, this also puts my ship in top shape. Is this what I want? It's a lot of stats. It's plus 12, so it's, what is it? It's plus 54 and 4 Sweetens of the Candy. That is pretty good. Let's double check my math. It's 12 plus 13. Yep, 54. Nice. We've already done our big recruit for the turn. I'm just going to cinnamon roll. I don't think we need to wink. I'll throw in a Dastardly Spirit. Oh, here's Cherry Topples. Okay. This is part of the end game that I am typically looking for. Boon Willow is also good, and when I say typically looking for, I mean that I theorized I would typically be looking for. We're going to lose Sugar Plum Fairy here. It's giving the shop plus 50, but like so is the Butcher's Cleaver, and I think the extra spells are just going to help us do more things than this will. So we'll pick up a pair of Starbursts here. We could go into Mysterious Egg, which will actually hatch into a secret rare. Oh, I did not even consider that. That is too fun. Do I toss my Long John Silvers? No, I'm going to keep my Long John Silvers because maybe we still hit a True Love's Kiss for that. We can cycle through Tin Man. We can pick up the Butcher, try to find a double dealer, or I can Pixie Powder on the Fire-Breathing Dragon for a nice little plus 70 on it. This is also quite large, and for that reason we might want to consider it. We never want to toss Chaos because we'll never be able to find it again, but at some point we might just have to, especially if we try to, you know what, let's look for the True Love's Kiss. That seems like a fun thing to do. And then let's look for some more mages. I'll cycle through Weensea. I was looking specifically for the golden Two-Headed Wizard there. We'll just get Over the Rainbow and another Over the Rainbow before we potentially pick up the golden Two-Headed Wizard next turn, and it looks like we are golden as well. We are not going to lose. We could lose to the Triple Trouble, but we could just take out the Triple Trouble Ghost because I think the ghosts don't scale as well. Oh, I suppose, I mean, this is obviously massive, but it's always going to be massive. And my opponent's Triple Trouble was center. So let's Mixo Macho. It blows one of the Two-Headed Wizard casts, but it means that we can, oh my goodness, it means that we can Over the Rainbow again, but it also means that we can keep up with a Triple Trouble. Now I can grab a Blind Mouse. I will probably keep the egg, toss the Long Johns, and just grab an 8K mouse. That seems like a perfect use of all of these double doubles. Goodbye Long John Silver, hello mouse, and it is up against Mysterio. In fact, the other ghost did just happen to go down, so we will now be taking down this Hannibal with a crazy Butcher's Cleaver high roll here, and this took me a few games to be sure, but eventually I did exactly what I set out to do with this deck, and it wasn't like I lost those other games either. Like, I made the deck strong enough that I was still going to be winning in the times when I wasn't finding the Butcher's Cleaver. But when I did, we were able to do some really fun stuff. Maybe I will have a Crystal video coming soon. I do have a Crystal video coming soon. It's not going to be on Double Dealer though, but that might also be a fun way to play with Crystal in the future. But for today, that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.